Welcome to Amazing Transformations, and I am JJ, also known as Jen and Veganology JJ. I am so excited and happy to be here with you live. I love doing these open forums to invite you to join me live. And, like I was saying, hey, welcome in, Tessa. Thank you for joining. Tessa is an awesome, uh, I want to say guest, but I can't get her to come on here. Awesome person who shares the love of being vegan and also of raw living foods with me. And she joins here, and I'm so appreciative that she comes on each week and says hello to us. And the we all know, I think, at least in my life, I know very little like real I wouldn't say real vegans. I know very little people who practice the same veganism, and especially even the raw food diet in my real life. Like when we're traveling, when we go to work, or just a lot of our families aren't vegan. And I think like community is really important. I know one of the things that's really helped me to feel connected and to be around like-minded people who kind of get what you're doing, and also to give you that encouragement and to talk about different things. And that's why I wanted to bring these forums so we can all kind of join together, whether it be in the comments or you can come on, click the link. It's always right here in the comments if you want to come on and talk and just kind of share, what's been going on. What do we eat? Anything new you've discovered, any new health discoveries. Talk about your health changes, how good you feel. Talk about any, problems you've been having. Like, are you having any struggles? Was it hard to find vegan food where you went last week, or whatever the case might be? I think it's important to get together, share a good recipe that you have, share what you've been eating. Have you been eating, kind of a junk food vegan, and you've switched to whole food plant based and you want to talk about it? Or have you been, just wanting to learn about veganism and you don't really know what it is, but you have friends that are vegan and you're like, what are they talking about? Come on and join. And also, I'm going to have like a beginner vegan course coming. It's probably going to be, what's this, February, almost the 19th. So I'm thinking it's probably going to begin either the beginning or like mid-March. And I have that almost all put together. I just want to kind of get a plan. Of course, it's not going to go according to plan as soon as I get started. I'm sure we'll go on tangents, but I think it'll be a nice place to share about, like I didn't know when I first started what the word vegan even meant. I didn't even know that it wasn't really just a diet. I didn't know that it was a lifestyle. I didn't know, what I didn't even know there was different kinds of vegan diets, that you could do or that people were doing. All I knew is I watched a documentary. For those that might be new, Tessa's probably tired of hearing this story. Like, we get it, JJ, you love it. But I watched a documentary when we were trying to grow microgreens, and it was called Raw documentary. It was on YouTube. It's still there. There's two parts to it, and I've shared it before. But it's old, like, well, old to me now. It was, well, this was in 2019 and the video was old then, but it had all these people talking about how they like healed themselves with living foods, like, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds. And they were talking about how it kind of brings life to the body, and people were curing all kinds of stuff. And they had reversed their diabetes and different things. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. I've been trying to lose weight. I'm going to try this. I wonder what it would be like. I like salads, kind of as a, usually precursor to my meal, not my whole life, but, I'm just going to try it. So I went out to the store that night, coming from standard American meat eating, steak, chicken. That was all part of my daily life. I couldn't imagine a meal without meat. In fact, I thought I couldn't get full without it, And I ate, I did eat vegetables, but they were a side thing. Then fruits were like something that I if we saw some good oranges, we'd eat, or I'd eat bananas a lot, like, sometimes when I was on a health kick, quote unquote, for lunch. So I kind of like that stuff, but it was all completely new to me. And I'm going to go over this real quick, and then it's going to take me full circle to what I kind of want to like talk about. And if anybody else comes on, I'd be happy to hear your kind of tips and things for new vegans. But I was thinking of something last night, and I put it on the Facebook group, but I didn't really tag everyone in it because I don't like to, all the time put the little everyone tag, because I think it only lets me do it once a week. Anyway, let me get to that, and then I want to tell you about my guest I'm going to have on tomorrow. I'm getting so excited. I'm getting ahead of myself. Thank you, Tessa, for being here and hearing me ramble. It's okay. As long as I have one person to talk to, I'm happy. So anyway, I go out to the store and I buy all these things. I bought like lettuce and cucumbers and what else? Well, it started out kind of small. I bought like lettuce, tomato, cucumber, the stuff that I knew like really went on salad. And as it grew over and over time, I don't have a picture of it on here, but my salad got up to literally like over my head. I'm not even joking. Like if I held it here, it was that high piled, and I would put it in like, and I didn't even know about mono eating, right? Like that's something I just learned this year about, like eating one thing at a time helps digestion. But literally I did it like a veggie tray. I had like a little thing, and I always had corn because I felt like that filled me up. And I had some cashews then. I didn't really know about walnuts being the better of the best like omegas then ratio. So like I had a little bit of cashews with my salad and corn, and literally that like filled me up. I'd take like a piece of lettuce and a piece of spinach, and I'd put some like sprouts in it. I'd put my little, they got added on later on, but in the beginning I would just put whatever veggies I had in there, and I would put it and I'd roll it up and I'd dip it in like, little bowls I'd have of dressing. And at the time I used a balsamic vinaigrette and a raspberry vinaigrette. And I had certain vegetables like avocados. For some reason, I never could understand that they were savory at that time. Now I eat them in a savory salad, but I would always eat them. And now I know avocado is a fruit, not even a vegetable. I would eat them in the raspberry vinaigrette because I thought that and the corn tasted better with the sweet dressing, and I would eat the balsamic with like all the other stuff like the cucumbers and the like the lettuce and that type of thing. I don't know, it might have been just in my head, but that's what tasted good at the time. And I would get so excited every night, just like because I guess it was all new to me, and I would be like in there chopping my vegetables and getting a video up of like, some of the raw vegans that I knew at the time. Like I think, I watched a lot of videos with not even raw vegans, but like Neil Barnard was the one that I would watch. And I watched a lot of like, how I reversed my acne or whatever it was on a raw vegan diet. Fully Raw Christina, I saw her channel and I was listening to her a little bit, but mostly I would listen to health benefits of cucumbers or health benefits of this or that. And I was like learning how all these foods, and I'd hear about people healing, and it just kind of like, it was a thing that I did every night. I would study about a different vegetable or fruit, and I just kind of became obsessed with this, like that this was, so cool. And the next thing I know, I was only going to do it like 3 days, and it was like ended up a week. And then I was like, I can keep going with this. Like, I feel better than I ever have. Like, a lot of people talk about how, and it was just must have came natural to me because it was so weird. Like, and everybody thought I was crazy because I'm like doing these raw foods, and I had just I'm not eating my normal way, like it was tough those first holidays and things. Not tough for me because I was excited about what I was eating, but it was kind of like tough for everybody else to watch because they were like, no, come over to this side, eat like we used to. And so what I ended up doing was just like after like a couple of weeks, I realized I was feeling good. Within a month, I had noticed that I started to like lose a little bit of weight. I had a lot of energy. I ended up that year, I had had like seasonal allergies forever. I never had any other. I've never since till this day had seasonal allergies again. And I mean, I would get terrible colds in the beginning of allergy season. I'd have to take a bunch of, NyQuil or whatever just to get through get through those first couple of days. And I would end up even in the winter, I'd get like bronchial issues. Like, I don't get that stuff anymore. I don't have allergies. I had chronic back pain for like 15 years, and that after about 30 days I realized, you know what, that was immediately like crazy going away. Something I'd never felt, this pinching that was like always in my back forever that I could remember, since I became kind of in my adult years. It was gone. I mean, I literally used to have to stretch out on an exercise bike in the morning. Nope, completely gone. I didn't have to do that anymore. My back was not tight anymore after I'd sit for a while. I lost 50 pounds within like 6 months, and I've kept it off. Just like, I don't know, it was just so crazy. And I just felt like this different, like, calmness, this different attitude. And after like 6 months, I started feeling like I was losing too much weight. So I did end up, getting back into eating a little more fats, like, and a little more like cooked food. I started exploring all the different plant-based versions of things. I put rice because I thought I had to, which this year I went back into my roots of raw, I guess I'll call it. I kind of discovered that fruit was such an important part of our diet. I interviewed Minister of Wellness, and he first brought it to my attention. And then I've met all these awesome people in the raw vegan world now. And it was kind of like, yeah, this feels like home. I went through every version of the diet and ended up back where I am now. And this is how I feel my best. But this time I've increased it to a fruit-based raw food diet. And and I've just learned a lot recently. Like, I don't know if you guys take supplements, but I've been learning that, like, especially women, when it comes to hormones and things, and different, and also the way that our fruit is not grown the same as it was 1,000 years ago. Don Bennett, who I've interviewed a bunch of times, talks about this, where we may not all of the time, just because we're eating fruits and vegetables, we're going to feel better initially, but there might be nutrients we're missing out on that we need, that we would have gotten. But now fruits and vegetables are pretty much grown for more for profit, just like everything else. And if we're not growing it ourselves, and we don't know the minerals in the soil. So I did begin taking, I always took B12 for probably about 2-3 years. This has been 5 years I've been vegan, and I learned about that on this video, and I'm like, whoa, what's B12? We need that. And do we make it? And there's a whole thing we could go into with B12, because we can make it. However, we probably aren't making it because of different things that we can consume. Like, there's certain things that can block absorption of it. So it's, for me, I feel like safer, because it can, cause like neurological disorders and things if you don't get it. So I'm like, you know what? It's not going to hurt me to eat a vitamin. So, and then I started learning about iodine, and I was like, as women, it's really important. There's a blog article I can put out on it, why it's so important to have iodine. And I didn't know that in my diet. I'd never even heard of that nutrient. And then I started looking at, I'm looking over here because I just bought this bag of essential nutrients. I know Jeff Palmer is on here. He has a really good company called cleanmachineonline.com, and he sells like a lot of supplements, especially if you're into bodybuilding and stuff. And he does have a version of D3, I think, and B12 on there. And I was just like, I didn't want to take a bunch of capsules. That was always my thing with being like vegan. I'm like, I want to keep it all natural. And I was like, I can get iron from, and iodine and stuff like that. I can get all my nutrients, like I can get it from seaweed. And and then I was ordering sushi every night, and of course Dawn was like, okay, that's gonna, like, take us broke. We can't order all that sushi. I was trying, right? I was getting my nutrients, right? But no, I started to put seaweed in my salad and different things. I just started exploring it, and then I found, well, you know what, just recently I started reading about K2 and magnesium, selenium, omegas. And I was like, you know what? I am just not going to worry about it. I bought this Essential. I think it's from Compliment is the company. I watched an interview on Jillian with I think his name is Matt. He's the owner. And I decided to go ahead and get those. And they have like all this stuff, like all in one in these capsules. And you take like 3 of them a day. So that's new. And I also take Daily Green Boost, which has a lot of minerals in it. So I've been putting that in my little banana mixture. And I have moringa leaf powder. So for people who are like, oh, you're not going to get all your nutrients, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely getting mine. And then some. I've got all kinds of different things that I put in there. And it's like, I find that over time you learn different things, that everything is not so black and white. Yes, there's nutrients in food, but how is it grown? Do you know for sure that you're getting that magnesium in the soil that your body needs, like you would have if you were growing it? Like, until I get a farm, I don't know. So I'm trying these to see. I started feeling like maybe like I was having a little bit more ADD than usual and I was out of focus. So I'm like, maybe I need to up my vitamins. So I'm like, let's give that a try. It could just be that I'm so excited about everything I'm doing. I'm jumping from one thing to another. So but that's basically my story. I think Tessa has told me, if she's still here in the comments, that she enjoys like a raw food diet, I think, or high raw diet. And there are a lot of people who really enjoy it. There's a lot of people who, and over time, I did really well on a whole food plant-based, which is really a good diet that has, a lot of whole grains and like you can have quinoa, brown rice, different, lots of vegetables and nuts and seeds and fruits, and people are making all kinds of amazing things. I know I've had a bunch of chefs on here, that have told us their little things that they mix up. They make vegan burgers out of this. They make comfort foods with it, all kinds of delicious stuff. So you can, beans are an excellent addition if you're trying to fill up, like if you're a new vegan. And there's so many different things. There's a lot of products out there now that, you can buy that can be healthy for you, especially if you get the right brands, and also that have those comfort foods that you want. So if you're trying to help save animals, if you feel like you want to really, make a difference, and you're worried that you won't have anything to eat, trust me, there is plenty to eat. You're only making 3 minor adjustments to your diet usually. I mean, think about what you really eat, like meat, eggs, and you can literally replace all of those, whether it be in recipes or in your diet. So what have I been eating lately is like, this was my diet yesterday. Literally, I ate, I think I actually started out because I got I started adding like peas and corn to my salad. For some reason I've been so like strict on, no, I don't want to eat anything. I'm eating mostly fruit in my salad, but peas are actually a fruit. And I don't know, sometimes even within this diet, like how it happened in my salad before, I started out eating like a lot of fruit all day. And then in the evening, I was having one salad. So it started out with like lettuce, cucumber. And then all of a sudden now it's gone to bigger and bigger and bigger. So now I've got peas and corn added in my salad. And I think I've put like, what else do I put in there? I just put celery is a good thing. I love adding that to salad. So yesterday I literally had like, I think I had 4, maybe 6 clementines. I might have had a couple of like spoonfuls of like the peas or whatever early when I first started getting hungry. And then I ended up having my clementines because I am like loving the vitamin C, and it also that helps you absorb iron too. So I've been having a lot of oranges or clementines or whatever we can get from the store, whatever they'll bring me, whatever they have in stock. And then I have like maybe 3 or 4 bananas with the Daily Green Boost. And then yesterday, I think it was yesterday, or yeah, it was yesterday. I got the new supplement. So I'm going to see if I can get the owner of this company to come on. You can see all the nutrients that it has in it. Maybe they'll come on and talk about how they made that company. And I'll let y'all know if I feel any different after I take them for a couple of weeks. And then I had, let's see, yeah, and I mixed that daily green boost. It's like, green, and it's like a I don't want to say fishy because it really doesn't have fish in it. It's barley grass juice powder, and it's all raw vegan. And I mixed that with like 3 to 4 bananas. And literally, at first, I thought it was weird, but when you mix it with like really ripe bananas, it actually tastes good. Like I actually crave it now, oddly enough. It kind of has like that sweet and savory taste. I don't know. It's weird. You have to do it to even get what I'm talking about. And then I took 3 of these because you have to take 3 of them, which I didn't know when I bought them. I'm like, I don't want to take 3 capsules. Usually, whenever I get a capsule of anything that I've tried before, I will take it out and I'll dump it in water. That's why I get the moringa leaf powder, because I was dumping the capsules out. And I'm like, you know what? They might use some kind of filler for those. So, but this company is supposed to be all vegan and everything. So, and moringa is like a thing that I drink. I drink that with water in the morning, and some people drink it in smoothies and stuff. And then so pretty much I ate those oranges, the bananas, and then what did I have? And then I had this big, huge salad. I had literally lettuce, tomatoes, and I'm on and off with tomatoes because I've been reading that they cause inflammation. I just really felt like eating some last night, and we had them in the fridge. And so I don't know, like I'm still, I used to eat them when I was vegan. And then Don was saying over time, like, tomatoes, peppers, and things like that, they're not the best thing. But I decided to go ahead and eat them because they were going to be good in this mixture. And so I had lettuce, celery. I shred the celery like with a peeler. I enjoy it like that because I can't chew it very well. And then I put some organic Lindsay raw vegan, of course there, but Lindsay olives in there. And those are the ones that I get because they don't use chemicals in it. It basically just uses like a sea salt and organic spirit vinegar. And I wasn't even eating that because then I was like, I read that can throw off the microbiome, but I went back to eating those. So I've been like a little all over the place this year. I just wanted this big salad, and I'm like, I'm going to make it really good. And then I had a little bit of spinach, which I limit my spinach now, and have more lettuce, different versions of lettuce. I had romaine and iceberg. Man, that's so good. And then I had I got organic peas, like frozen peas, and I let them like thaw out. And then I got organic corn, and I'm waiting for the fresh organic corn on the cob. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. And I put corn, peas, avocado, my favorite. Yes, I know I should limit the avocado, but I don't eat any other fats. So it's not like I'm overdoing it. I ate 2 big, huge avocados and put that in the salad. And then what else did I have in there? Let me think. I can't think of it. I can't think of what else I put in there. What was it? I don't know, but it was a really good salad. I think I shared a picture of it on the Facebook group. I know, right? Corn is so good and filling. And corn is actually a fruit. Welcome. Did I put it up? I thought I shared your message. What's happening? It's like frozen. Hi, Marakita. I'm trying to share your message, but it's like, can you guys still see me, or am I frozen? Let's see. Oh, there it comes. She said, "Hi, JJ. I want some corn." The corn this is actually not bad. I don't get any salt on it like the frozen corn. And like I used to use sea salt whenever I wanted to use salt. Like I try not to use salt. Then I every now and then though, before I got my supplements, I was like, well, I'm not getting any iodine. So I would throw a little iodized salt on it occasionally, like if I wanted to have a little bit. And I think, if you're going to have salt, have it very limited, because our body needs salt, but like natural salts like are the best. There's salt in our vegetables too that you can get. And there's not really a need for a lot of added salt like we eat in our standard American diet. But yeah, so I get that corn and I've been letting it kind of thaw out, and running it under cold water. And then if I need to, I can kind of heat it up just a little bit, not over, for my first year of raw though, I did not even do that. I wouldn't heat anything. I wouldn't put heat on anything. I was like, you know what? No, it's not raw. Even cashews, I was not willing to eat unless if they were roasted or anything. And I'm still kind of a little bit strict like that. I just love the taste of the like living foods. I've been fully raw since February. Oh, you know what? Before I read Tessa's message, Marakita has a coaching course coming up. Go check out her YouTube. She has awesome interviews. She's going to be interviewing, I think, if I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but Z Paul. And she has a lot of really awesome interviews on there. She does little lives where she inspires us about animal wisdom. And she's got a course starting, I think, I forget the date. She can put it down there, maybe the 20th or 21st, which is going to be really cool if you're interested in that. And hurry up before she steals my corn. I've been fully raw since February of 2022. That is awesome, Tessa. I am so excited for you. I went re-raw, as they'll say. I went raw from August, September, October, I think it was, right? Well, till right before Thanksgiving. So for over 3 months. And then I kind of incorporated a little bit of cooked food. And then January 1st, I went raw for life, I feel like. So I just, began again. And then previous to that, I've been high raw on and off, but 6 months of the beginning of my journey, as you know, I was raw. And it's like, there must be a reason I keep going back to this relationship with raw, right? It's like a good relationship that I keep going back to and then getting away from and going back to. We're going to bring Marakita as whole food plant-based, but I think because she knows me, she eats more raw food. I keep making her want different stuff. Now she's going to go get some raw corn. That is excellent. So February of 22, and we're in February of 23. No, 24. So it's been 2 years. Oh, I mean, we're in, February. Congratulations. Let me see. Oh, Neo's sleeping. I wanted to ring the bell, but I'm going to give you the sign. Ding, 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 ding. The poor cat last week when he was behind me sleeping, and the other one, and I rang the bell celebrating Dawn's raw, and she all of a sudden, I mean, the poor thing jumped and almost scratched me, and I felt so bad. So I'm giving you the ding ding ding, the bell for congratulations. That is awesome. You have got to tell us like what you eat in a day. Do you eat salads or are you fruit based? Come see me in Atlanta, people. That sounds good. Okay, and her coaching course starts Wednesday at 11 Eastern time. Cool. Thank you for sharing that. I love your inspiration that you give us. Oh, there's your message. Come see you in Atlanta. That is so awesome, guys. I love what we're all doing to kind of, and that's inspiration. Tessa, how did you get inspired? I know I met you on other live streams. I think I know I've met you there on other channels, so I think that's how we found each other. And now Tessa's been with me on my raw journey from raw to then, I went into the cooked food obis one more time, and now I'm back in the raw. But I think, it is so interesting, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today, especially for everybody on these forums, especially. I feel like if we're going to have new vegans watching this, and why I want to do the course, because it's so important to know that, if you don't eat like me, you can still move into this. You might end up finding out you might want to do it differently. Like, you might want to start whole food plant-based, and then you might end up, incorporating more raw foods and really enjoying that and wanting to do that. But there are so many different versions of the vegan diet where you can still improve yourself, your health. You can help the animals and the environment by just making a few small changes. And that was about to bring me to the thing that I wanted to really talk about. And it was, when you look at, let's just say, anything you do in life, you don't do things for the most part unless you have to. Like, I mean, if you hate your job and you still go to work, of course maybe you have to do that to, like, support your family or whatever. Why do I feel like there's like a glare every time the sun starts to go down? I feel like there's this glare that makes me look like I've got this like shadow over the side of my face. I'm just not even going to look at myself in the mirror. I mean, the mirror, into the thing. I'm going to talk to you guys in the comments, so I'm not focused on that weird glare. Um, but I was gonna say, like, you do things that you enjoy. Like, for me, I'll put off something that I'm not enjoying to do, right? Like, if I know I have to go do the dishes, I'm not gonna go do the dishes if there's like this really cool interview I want to watch on, YouTube, or if somebody, or a TV show or something. You're gonna be more inclined to do what you enjoy, or if you enjoy getting out in nature, and maybe going hiking or camping or whatever you do, you're going to want to do that. And like, we do things in life we enjoy. So like, when you begin this journey, whether you're going to go to a whole food plant-based diet, or you just want to explore more vegan items, or you want to start to get healthier, or you want to start, even if you're going to start trying to move around and exercise more, what you want to do is you need to get excited about it. Like, there are so many interviews I watch, and I know, Marakita, you interview people. Tessa, you and me both watch like tons of lives and interviews. Everybody who is interviewed talks about how excited it is about the food that they get, And Tessa, you've been raw for a while. I mean, do you find that it's boring, or do you get excited about what you're making? I'm really curious now to know about your diet. Like, did you start whole food plant based? And, Marakita, did you start out whole food plant based, or did you kind of like, that's one of the things you have to know too. When you become vegan, you're going to go from different phases. I mean, look at the time that you guys have known me. And as you learn something new, you might try something different. But the main thing to remember is you have got to get excited. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love bananas. Like, I literally have, like, right now, this is going to sound crazy to like normal people. Not that I'm not normal, but well, I'm a little weird. But if ask my family, I've always been a bit strange, right? But if you look at my kitchen right now, I've got literally 30 bananas here, like, at least, right, Tessa? Because it's like I can eat like 4 or 5 bananas. I'm on a budget too, and they're the cheapest thing, right? So, like, avocados are probably the most expensive fruit that I buy, and I can't live without them. So I'm just going to go into debt buying avocados. I love those really big, large ones. Do you eat avocados, I wonder? But Marakita too, I wanted to say thank you for coming, because I know you're really busy like moving and stuff. So thank you for jumping in. And Tessa said she eats a lot of bananas. We've gone bananas. Yeah, and that's why I love it that they go. That's the thing that I found that I like with that nutritional value, and it's filling. I mean, they're really good, and I love just eating like mono fruit meals. Like, for the whole, like, first, what was it? Probably like first 2 weeks of this new journey I've been on, all I ate was bananas, grapes, clementines, and some, like, a little bit, like maybe 1 or 2 avocados at night, and that's all I was eating. Just, and that was basically because I knew that I probably needed some fats, so I didn't go down to like size 2. um and that's funny, because my entire life I was always like, oh, I need to go on a diet, I need to lose weight, and I was up and down. But this, it like keeps you, and I know, it keeps me at like a normal weight, as long as I just eat enough, eat when I'm hungry, and don't like ignore my hunger when I'm really busy. um and so what I was going to say was, whatever version of this diet you want to be on, like, let's say you want to explore the raw vegan diet, basically go out and experience the new foods, get excited about it, make that commitment and say, you know what, I'm not going to think about what I can't have. I mean, if you're going to sit there and say, I can't have meat, I can't have dairy, I can't have nothing I like, can't have ice cream, can't have this, of course you're going to start to get depressed about it, right? That's not going to be fun. That's not going to be exciting. You could go through life thinking about everything you don't have and you can't have, and that would be really basically to be grateful. We think about what we have, and that brings more of that stuff that we love to us. I think that's the really important thing, is to explore new flavors and new foods. I mean, if you go into this in a way that you're getting excited and you want to go ahead and try these new things, and especially if you're somebody who likes to cook, like I know Marakita loves to like put different flavors together and try things, like somebody who likes to cook and really take, especially either raw or whole food plant based, and really run with it, because they can, that actually adds to their creativity. I mean, you probably have the same three boring meals, or 5 to 10 boring meals every week, right? Like, so if you think about it, now you're able to put together, like, wow, what can I create that's going to be filling and know that it's actually healthy? How would you feel not waking up feeling guilty that, like, oh, I ate all that bacon grease yesterday, so what did that do to your arteries? Like, if you want to live and you want to be healthy and you want to live this optimal life and you want to continue to like have energy, like, it's not worth that 10 minutes of pleasure that you might get from a cupcake to not create a healthy vegan cupcake. I mean, I saw Ed Logan's little girl made him a who does Fruit for Your Life, I think his channel is called. Yeah, Fruit for Your Life, where I actually met Muriel and Michelle, who come to these all the time. They, met me there, and his daughter, I don't know if it was his birthday or she just made it for him, but they know that he eats raw, and the rest of the family is incorporating more foods, but they don't. They eat still the regular way, and she made him a raw vegan cheesecake. Like, I mean, so I was watching this TED talk last night, and the lady was making raw vegan breads. I mean, you can go really creative with it if you're not somebody who wants to eat like us and eat like mono meals. But once you get to the point where you're putting one fruit at a time into your digestion, like literally when you get those raw foods going through you, or those whole foods, like, even if you're just like beginning this, you're going to start to feel your digestion is better. You'll feel like your skin feels better. There's so many people that I've interviewed on here, like whether it be they went all fruitarian or they went all whole food plant based, like Richard Hubbard and Lawrence Richardson. They both, like, reverse their diabetes and high blood pressure. Tomorrow, that's what I wanted to mention. Tomorrow, I have a guest, Linda Middlesworth, who she healed her thyroid cancer. She overcame pre-diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. Like, the stories are continuous of what people have reversed, and especially when it's accelerated. Like, you can see Z Paul was on here reversing symptoms of cerebral palsy, and that with this. So the with a great cleanse that he did, and he's now on I think he's on high raw diet. But like, the especially like whole food plant based that don't add like a lot of salt and sugar and things, and raw vegans tend to look and seem like, so like, they feel so good. They all have this sense of calm. Let's see. I can't. Oh, there it comes. Let's see. Let's see. Lack mindset versus prosperity. Right. What are you adding to it? That is so true. And Tessa said, I went vegan when I turned 21 as soon as I found out about the truth of factory farming. So I ate vegan food for years before I went raw. Okay, so yeah, you did it kind of. See, I was like a kid who had to explore all versions of it, right? And then went back home to the raw. That's really good. And a lot of people go vegetarian and then vegan, and and then sometimes they go into raw, and then other people do it like just go wrong. Like there's no right way to do it, but there's no way that you would know everything when you first find your why, and that's one of the things I always share is to begin with figuring out why you want to do it. Whatever your motivation is, it's going to change over time, like Tessa found out what happened in factory farming, which if you let yourself, if you're here and you're not vegan yet, and you open your mind to what really goes on, I think for our whole lives, we either ignore it or don't even explore it or don't think about it, and nobody puts it in our face like it probably is now a little bit more. It's common that you might see something on Facebook. And I notice people go completely berserk on those. When someone, like when a vegan has a public page and they share, or even on YouTube, some of the videos I'll see, quote unquote, I guess they're called trolls, I don't know, but people get really mad when they see something about how veganism hurts animals, and I was just talking to Marakita about this. She was speaking about it, and because she has a lot of people that she knows that isn't vegan, just like we all do, and people they get really angry and they put laughy faces when somebody puts a vegan meal up, and they comment rude things underneath. Yeah, that's not if you want to be unhealthy. And it's like, okay, I'm not sure if you saw that memo that our bodies weren't designed to eat dairy and meat, but that's okay, because I think what's happening to people is truly they don't want to think that there's anything wrong with it, that it's not healthy, or that it hurts animals, because that's going to make them feel like they're not doing their part to be kind to animals. You know what I mean? And I think I didn't know that for 42 years. I didn't think I was a bad person when I was eating meat and dairy. And it's like, but like, I really commend you, Tessa, because like once you knew, and Marakita at some point along her journey figured this out too, because of her love for animals, that it really is pain and suffering that's going on. I mean, if you know that your dog or your cat has like has pain, or they can see, they can feel fear, we know that animals do, and we know in those slaughterhouses, we've seen them in those trucks that they're taken. Like I had um I can't remember his name right now, but he does the filmography, and he does the man, I can't remember. Marakita's interviewed him too, but he goes to the vigils and takes photos. And I mean, the way they're trapped in these cages, if you've ever seen the condition that they keep cows in, they artificially impregnate them. Their babies are stolen from them. They're crying out to get the milk. And we're not even supposed to have cow's milk, but people are programmed that we are, and we all were. Everybody was like, drink your milk. Our parents were told that you have to feed us cow's milk. For meat, it's told, men are told they have to have protein to get muscles, and women too. Like we have to have meat for all these different things. And it's a big industry, and those poor cows can smell the death. I've heard when people go to these places, like they can smell their sisters and brothers and friends, their fear. And like, it's just a painful process to think of, though, when you're still eating meat. Like you almost want to like block it out. I want to block out that I ever ate it, and for me, it's not worth it for something that might taste good. Bobby Sudd, thank you, Marakita. I'm getting old, I'm forgetting all the people I've interviewed. Oh, that means maybe I'm doing okay. I've interviewed people consistently for a couple of years now. But speaking of dogs, Linda owns a dog food company called V Dog. And there's a lot of controversy you'll find. And I don't need to keep telling you guys, that was just a little spoof for new vegans. It starts to make me feel like crying. But yeah, you're doing the right thing if by not eating meat, for your health and for the animals. And I don't like to preach about it, because everybody has their own way of thinking and coming into it. And you might have to hear this now and you can like shut it off and say, I don't want to hear her anymore. But maybe one day you'll like rethink it. But the important thing to know is you're not missing out by not having meat. Like that was the whole full circle point of it. I mean, especially people who ate meat like me and who now are so excited about their diet and the way they eat and the way they feel. That's got to make you know, and everybody that you talk to, we're not getting paid to do this. We're not on here lying to you, right? Like, I mean, if you think about it, the dairy and meat industry has a vested interest to tell you you need their product. I'm not being paid by the National Fruit Society. Is there a National Fruit Society? I'll have to look that up. Maybe they'll pay me. No. But it is, it's like there's just so many reasons to do it and not many reasons to not do it, other than that's what I've always done, that's what we've always been told. And it's sad because there's a lot of doctors who are coming around and understanding nutrition, but there's also a lot of people still being told they need meat, and there's a lot of people on media putting it all out there. But you got to think about it like, it's basically just coming away from any other type of, addiction or whatever you want to call it, and way of thinking. You can get set in a certain mindset. And I mean, I'm doing a lot of work internally, with myself, because I deal with a lot of, anxiety and worry and things like that about my family. And like, I go through a lot of things about mindset. And like, I'm really working on not having that type of control, but that's a whole nother episode to do. But this, is something that I can control. I can definitely control what I consume and what goes into my body. And it feels so, like, to use Marakita's word, empowering, like, it feels empowering to know that you're doing the right thing. Like, you wake up every day thinking, you know what, I'm doing right by my body, I'm doing right by animals. And you know and it's just something that once you make that commitment and you start to explore it, you just almost like you want people to try it, because you're like, you're not going to believe how much you're going to like this, especially if you make sure, like, to the point of the next, I think we're going to do, Don and me are going to do a live stream on this too, about this, the nutrients, and making sure you're getting the right things, because I think a lot of people that go raw vegan and then don't feel good, either don't, they're maybe, because they're eliminating other things, they're essentially in, like, I hate to use the word detox, because our body is constantly cleansing and detoxing, but it might be just that their body is like fighting getting used to it. It's just like stopping any other drug, alcohol, or anything. Your body's going to fight it for a minute. It doesn't mean it's the wrong thing to do. Like, if you're trying to stop drinking caffeine and you get a caffeine headache, nope, that means I need caffeine, which is what I keep doing. But I do it on purpose. I know it's not the right thing to do when I continue to drink the tea and stuff, but it's just kind of like a thing. Like, you've got to look at it like, for a minute you may not feel as good, but you also want to make sure you're getting all the right nutrients and you're eating enough food that you're satisfied, because we tend to think of, especially if you go raw, people think of salad as something they eat as a side item. When you go raw and you want to eat fruit, like you just heard me say, I eat 4 to 6 clementines. I never ate 4 to 6 oranges in a sitting when I was regular standard American diet. I ate maybe one for dessert, if I ever even ate fruit. Let's see. There's Marakita telling me Bobby Sud. Thank you. He was awesome. I loved interviewing him. He's so compassionate and kind, and does so much for animals. Growing up, I would force myself to drink milk because everyone said it would give me strong bones. Yes, me too. I hated milk, really. I mean, I liked it in like cereal, like chocolate cereals, like Cocoa Pebbles and whatever those were. And Fruity Pebbles, and what else? I ate it with Captain Crunch and all that good stuff. But I didn't really like drinking milk by itself. I would really fight that. I could drink it with dessert even as an adult sometimes, and I liked ice cream and stuff. But I really never liked it as a kid. But we were forced to drink it, and now the thing is, when you're a parent, you want to do the right thing for your kid. And our parents were all taught that. And we didn't have all this information. It's like, I always talk about this on these, but like smoking, we didn't know how bad secondhand smoke was for us many years ago. And a lot of people even started smoking back in the, 30s, 40s, 50s when they were young. But then in like, I think all of a sudden the Surgeon General's report comes out. Even then people fought it like it was opinion, and they left smoking in hospitals and stuff for a while, and schools. um could people could smoke on their lunch or whatever in high school, like now you can't smoke anywhere, and if you smoke you're looked at like you're kind of like, oh, you still smoke. So things change, and that's where what we know now is the beginning of that rebellion of people. It's out there, the information's out there that we're not cows, like, trust me, and that we don't need that, and that it causes issues, but people are blocking it out like blinders, and they're still feeding it to their kids and giving them ice cream as treats. And I get it. I mean, it's hard to imagine all the stuff that you've been taught your entire life is wrong. You were in a matrix, and this is bringing you out of the matrix. Welcome. you know Let's see. She said, I looked up vegan problems the other day online, and it said that they have nutritional deficiencies. Yes. I mean, that is what you will find in the first 5 things you Google. Of course, they have, nutritional deficiencies. Everybody has nutritional deficiencies. I bet if you tested most people's blood, they're not getting enough of something, but they take and run with it. If a vegan doesn't supplement, let's say, and is eating like a weird diet where they're only eating like potato chips and soda and saying they're vegan, of course there's deficiencies. Like, what kind of diet are they eating? There's deficiencies in the standard American diet, like heart disease, and you're clogging your arteries, you're getting a high sodium intake, you're giving yourself basically insulin resistance with type 2 diabetes. Like, I was doing that to myself. That's why I was overweight. That's why I was starting to experience health issues. That's why I was having allergies, because my body was creating a mucus reaction to all the foreign substances that I was putting in that belonged to another animal. And all of a sudden now it's like I'm saying this information, I'm still the crazy one. It's like, no, that's not right. You need meat. You need meat. You need meat. We got people like Jeff Palmer, who I mentioned, putting his muscles up, and he's, stronger than half the people on Facebook saying he needs meat. So, like, it doesn't, it's just the way that the culture, the world is trying to change, but people, like, especially people that they become against it. Now people are doing the carnivore diet, saying that, there's people online calling themselves doctors. Yeah, fiber deficiency, right? Like, you know, they're saying there's a what did she just say? Yeah, fiber deficiency. People are very deficient in fiber, but you never see a big article. Could America be deficient in fiber? No, of course not. They want to, and that's a lot of those articles are going to be paid for by the dairy and meat industry. Dairy and meat don't want us to know that it's not good for us, and I want them to find alternatives. I don't want to see a whole industry suffer. I don't want to see a whole economy suffer. I understand that a lot of people grew up in the dairy industry. In fact, I think it was Dr. Neil Barnard last night. I heard him being interviewed on Jillian. I've been like on a kick with watching. I don't know if you watch her, Tessa, but I've been on a kick watching a lot of interviews on there. She's had some good ones. I watched Eli, and she had Dr. Neil Barnard on there, and he said that he grew up, I forget where he said, but it was somewhere in the Midwest that just was like totally against that. And and it, but we done it. We all came out of it. We all got like, that's why I so love talking to other vegans, because it's like, what changed you? Like, and it's something that'll evolve. Because for me, I just wanted to lose a couple of pounds, and look where it got me, all the way into the animal rights part, of it, and the health part of it. I was like, it was like a diet, literally. I tell people this all the time. My first 6 months, I didn't know that there was a problem with eating animals. I just knew I wasn't doing it because this is my new diet, and I'm losing weight, and I'm feeling good, and my skin feels better, and I'm not getting my allergies and back pain. And I was so into all the health benefits of the living food. And then I started seeing all these posts about, like, animals trapped in these cages, and that they're, and all the hormones they're shooting into animals. I mean, you're not getting natural things in your body now from you're being like a lot of antibiotics. Because why do you think they're giving them antibiotics? Because they're getting sick in these terrible conditions and diseases, and it's terrible. I could go on and on about that, but we here all know that, we've already bought in if we're at this place. But then I was like, wow, so I'm doing it for my health. I'm doing it for animals. I started hearing about how all the land we use and water to feed like this many cattle, this many cattle to feed this few people, that we could be using that land for such great other things. And Mariquita talks about this a lot, that all the forests that are, being destroyed, and just so many things that are being done because of factory farming, not to mention the poor suffering animals. If we love cats and dogs, why do we think this animal is different? It doesn't. Once you really think about it, doesn't make sense. And if you're stuck in your head saying, yeah, but what would I eat if I didn't eat meat? There's tons of recipes out there. I mean, if you want to be whole food plant based, which just means that you're eating whole natural foods, there are so many recipes. I mean, I see stuff on Facebook that literally makes me so hungry, and on YouTube. I mean, have you, and Mariquita shares some things that look so good with me that she makes. So you can have vegan burgers, you can have vegan, you know, coleslaw. You can have, I've made vegan sloppy joe or manwich or whatever you call it. We've made it out of mushrooms and lentils. And you can even have, they've got processed meats that you can buy that taste just like it. We like tofurkey. We've had that lunch meat before. I mean, like, that one thing that you can do for yourself is at least explore it and know that you have good tasting stuff. I'm not being crazy here, because I ate all that stuff. I ate the standard American diet, and then I've ate all the processed vegan food, and you can still have it. If you're just, you know what, I'm not worried about optimal health, you can still become vegan, and you might end up exploring other vegan versions of it and whole foods after you do that. Like, whatever makes you want to be motivated to change, it will be so worth it for you, especially if you're dealing with any type of illness, disease, things that you just think you deal with, nagging pains. I mean, Miss Mary, who I've interviewed on here, had rheumatoid arthritis for many years. It's in her 70s. She reversed it, by going on a fruit diet. It's just amazing. Um, exactly. Me too. Like, I get so upset when I see someone saying they're on a carnivore diet, because here's the thing. Like, this is not even someone's opinion, okay? There are different animals in different species, and they all have a species specific diet, and everybody can agree on every one of them's diet. So, but you look at our digestive system, and all of a sudden they want, I'm a carnivore. No, you're not. You're not a carnivore, but you can say that you are. You can eat like a carnivore, but a carnivore's digestive system doesn't look like that. And animals that are carnivore, like Eli was even saying, they don't see color, and they don't, you know, don't they just, their digestive system is set up a certain way. So when you say, what does this animal eat, you know exactly what to say. But when you talk about humans, we've let things go so out of control. We're actually like, we are designed to eat a fruit-based diet with tender leaves. We can also eat other things, in our diet too. But that's like what the closest comparison to the digestion has. Like, omnivore eats meat, and they eat vegetables. There's animals that are omnivore. That's not what our digestive system looks like. We can thrive on whole food, plant-based food, and we do well on it. We not only do good, but we heal ourselves on that type of diet. Now, there are many different versions of how you can do that, and how you can, but that's technically what your digestion was designed for. Like, because people who eat leaves all day, or who eat grasses, those are animals that their heads typically point downward and they have four stomachs. And that's what you'll hear a lot of people arguing online with me. Well, we're not herbivores because, we can't digest all that vegetation. No, that's why you're supposed to eat mostly fruit. That's true. Thank you for sharing that, because that's what, but the carnivore diet, these people, and this is the thing. Somebody might dispute me on the comments here at some point and say, like, not these comments on the live, but they'll come underneath sometimes, these crazy people. They're not crazy, they're just, I think, in my opinion, I don't know why they're on a vegan channel. I'm not on the carnivore channels, but they're like, they may say, "Oh, but I did the carnivore diet and I lost 20 pounds and I feel much healthier than I ever did." And this is why, probably if you're going from a standard American diet where you're eating a bunch of processed food, maybe a bunch of McDonald's, you're eating a bunch of, all kinds of sugar and treat donuts and all kinds of muffins and all this stuff, right? And then you go to just eating meat, you've eliminated so much crap from your diet that you're automatically going to feel better because of the stuff you eliminated. So I think when people do versions of diets that they do these elimination diets, it's mostly about what they're taking out, not about what they're actually eating. And with us, a lot of people know. That's why I think no matter which version of this diet you do, you end up feeling better, because you're getting rid of the dairy that's giving you the inflammation and the insulin resistance. You're getting rid of the saturated fat in the meat and all the hormones and crap they put in there. And you're clearing yourself out of all those autoimmune reactions, because those things don't belong in your body. So when we do that, and then we start ingesting all this fruits and vegetables, oh my gosh, we're like at a different like level. And especially fruit, it puts you in a different vibration, honestly. I can't stand seeing the carnivore diet, because, and I hate, what else I hate while we're talking about that? I don't want to get on a negative, but Tessa and Marakita, let me know if this bothers you. When people say I quit veganism. No, you stop the vegan diet, because I don't see how you can live this compassionate life or understand what veganism is and then quit that. Did you go back to wanting to participate in the factory farming and stuff like that? To me, I feel like maybe you can say, I quit my vegan diet, or something of that nature. But I don't know, like that. I find that interesting now that I feel like at the first 6 months that I was plant-based, I could have went back if I wanted to, like, honestly, because I didn't have that why at that point. I didn't know what went on. Maybe not 6 months, maybe more like 3-4 months until something clicked with me. But like, it just doesn't make sense, because it's like you can swap around diets, because it's like, oh, I cheated, I had a cookie. But like, I just find that so strange when people say that. um Tessa said, yeah, I watched that interview. He talked about growing up in West Dakota or whatever it's called. Yes, that's right, right. That's exactly, I couldn't remember the state. Um, what what's good? What good knowledge? Right. Good knowledge is, sometimes people don't want to believe the truth, and I totally get that. Like, but if they really like think logically about it. I always say this too, is because the reason I'm on here talking about this is because I didn't know it, and I would have wanted somebody to truly come on and say their journey and say things. I feel like about people I knew who were sick all through my life, and I might have been able to get in their head and help them, and make them well and make them heal by bringing them this information. And there might be somebody out there who didn't know that fat caused insulin resistance, that's creating their type 2 diabetes. And if I say that and they look into it and study it, and they get rid of that, they're not living in pain, and they're not living suffering, having to do the blood sugar test and manage all their carbs and all this. Because it's like, if we just came to our roots and went with our natural human diet, the whole world would heal. like it's just crazy. And it's like all this stuff I'm saying and how good I feel. There's one thing that someone can say though that's in a totally different mindset and they can make it sound so minimized, right? Like when you're talking to someone who's not vegan yet. Yes, that's complicated. I forget which part she was talking about, but yeah, it is pretty complicated. I don't know what complication you meant, but for me, what's complicated is trying to be very compassionate and find a way to really help people understand this without making them feel bad, because that's not what I want to do either. I care about people, I want people, I wouldn't want to make someone like in my family feel bad because of what they were eating. I want to present it in a positive way. And that's why I share all the interviews with, look, here's where I was, here's where I am, and I want people to understand that I know what it was like to eat bad, and I also know now what it was like, the struggle, and then having that positive change. And like when I share people who, I had this illness and now I've overcome it, or I felt like this and depressed and now I feel a lot better, I feel like that is the way to kind of let people make it their own decision, because I'm not going to tell people what to eat. You can't tell people what to do. We're all adults. You and me and Tessa, we all had to find this on our own, and we had to really learn it over time. But I would say the first thing to do is educate, right? Educate yourself and watch all these interviews with vegans. Get on the vegan channels, get on the Facebook groups, YouTube, Instagram, TikToks, whatever you can do. Get on there and learn about this. Follow those people and see what they're saying, because I learned so much from different people, and I take a little bit, but I've also formulated my own opinion based on these facts. Like sometimes I watch people on an interview and I hear what they're saying and I understand it, and I'm glad that works for them, but I know for me that's not the, we all have a specific diet and that's what I want to follow. But within that realm of not eating dairy and meat, and I feel like there's an optimal diet that we should eat, but it's also, there's different variations and different people are going to come in at different levels of that, and they're going to come in on different mindsets, and whatever can get you over that hump of getting rid of the meat and dairy, that's where you need to begin. And then you'll figure everything out along the way. You're going to figure out what you like. You're going to figure out 10 meals you like. You're going to figure out, it's not this, I said this last week too, it's not this big complicated thing. You're not rearranging the whole world changing to vegan. You're taking out a couple things and replacing them with things, whether you want to do processed meat, you want to do fruits and vegetables, beans, nuts and seeds, whether you want to do, whatever it is you want to do, there's plenty of things you can eat that you'll feel full. I think that's what people worry about too. She said, where's that at? Oh, yes, I quit my vegan diet, or I'm trying to keep it up. Yeah, because I think if your why is deep enough, you don't have to keep it up. You're doing it because that's how you live. Hey, Don, J&J Video React said you're amazing. I think you're amazing. Congratulations on becoming vegan. We're so excited. Like, you brought this information into view for me, because she was the one growing the microgreens that showed me the video. And I'm like, and that's just, look at how it's changed my life. And that's why it's so important that we talk about this stuff. And Dawn, thank you for when you come on here. Hey, Cox, welcome. How did I miss your comment? That's who said what good knowledge. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. I thought that was Marakita's message. That shows you, like, I need to make this bigger or something. I'm sitting too far away from the screen. Thank you for being here. Hopefully, Don, if he already left, if you see him on Discord, tell him thank you for coming in. And sorry I didn't say hi. I just couldn't see that it was his message. Let's see. We got a long comment. My amazing wife, Dawn. Let's see. This is Marakita. Let's see what she said. I was vegetarian, vegan, vegetarian, vegan. So now it's very much easier to be vegan. So it's complicated because of addictions and emotional eating, but there are other factors that make it complicated. Yes, it's definitely there's definitely a lot of things that go on with with addictions, and not only addictions that, like, I don't know that our body necessarily is as addicted as our mind to comfort, and things that we emotionally eat. A lot of people have made themselves know that when I get, sad, I eat this, or when I get happy, I eat this. When I celebrate, I eat this. Like, there's food surrounding every culture and every celebration and every event, really. And the world has made us think we need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And, in the media, and there's all these commercials, and there's like so much stuff. But so you have to really have a strong mind. And that's why I think, a lot of people who are vegan have that strong mind. We go around in this meat eating world and project compassion, and we get made fun of, but we know we're eating the right thing and we're doing it for ourselves, and like it it's hard because we also were that meat eating world, and we have those addictions. I have those same addictions. So I find, that's why I keep myself on the diet I do. And I get excited and I get myself, when I do it for a month, I get so into those fresh foods that I wouldn't want anything that didn't taste like that. I wouldn't want anything over processed or anything. I wouldn't want to, because I'm ruining that feeling I have, the dopamine or whatever they call it. I get that from what I'm eating now. And every now and then, though, if I smell something or I see something on TV, that trickles back in. But it's like a thought drifting through of, like, what I say if you used to smoke or something, like, oh, that was cool then, but I'm not doing it now. Dawn and me were talking about that on last week's stream. Um, And Dawn said, yeah, and it's funny, right? Because you can something changed your mindset from being vegetarian to vegetarian to vegan, and then ultimately you became vegan. And that's what I mean. So there's battles that go on even within our own minds sometimes. And that's where I go from, man, I love eating this. I love these fresh foods. And a couple times in my journey now, I've gone into, oh, but I really like, my cheating is eating a vegan chicken sandwich or cooked food now. Like, it's even gone deeper. So the more you change your diet to get to a certain level, you start to feel like the motivation comes from eating healthy instead of going back. The motivation being, I want that so bad, I'm going to eat that. But then you get excited and find things that are good within your current dietary plan that you want to eat. Like, if you can find a good raw vegan dessert, if you're a raw vegan and you really enjoy this type of fruit and you get into it, like, oh, and I forgot to say I had grapes for dessert last night. I think I forgot that after my salad, but I always have a bunch of grapes at some point. I don't know why I just thought of that. All of a sudden I was thinking of a fruit you like for dessert. That's where it came from. Um, we don't even know we're addicted. Yeah, like, you're right. And Marakita and Tessa said hi, Dawn, if you're still here. I know she's in the middle of, like, studying really hard. She's like retracking her trading from last week or something, whatever those traders do. Um, but then I appreciate, so just in case she wasn't looking at the screen, I wanted to tell her you guys said hi. We don't even know we're addicted, Marakita said. That is true, right? Like, you don't know you're addicted to certain things until all of a sudden you realize, wait, when you take it out and you're like, dude, I am addicted to that, right? I found that happened to me with, I was telling you, with the vegan chicken sandwiches. When I went, I was like, I am really addicted to that. And it's not like it's meat. It wasn't like that. It's just, I didn't want to have any processed food anymore. So, but I realized it was hard to take it out, because once you get that little bit of salt and the sugar that they put in those vegan cookies, I'm gonna stop talking about it before I go back to eating it tonight. I'm just kidding. No, but and it's still, I really commend people no matter what you eat. Like, maybe you do eat, if you're eating like processed vegan food, that's a good way to transition, to find yourself still having, still not contributing to animal abuse, but you're getting through it. And then you might come to you might find a video and be like, oh, let me try this. Let me incorporate more raw foods. Like Tessa went from, whole food plant based over to vegan, raw vegan, so it's not any one way to do it. Like, it's definitely, it's a journey. Think about if we knew everything when we were 16, we wouldn't have believed half of it, right? Or 19. We had to live those experiences and learn new things, and we become better people by what our what we've learned, and maybe our mistakes, and we finally become this version of ourselves that we want to be at some point. And some people may never get to it, but we're always trying, right? And I think that's the important thing, is to have, yes, mindfulness, like at least be conscious of it, because you'll probably do most of the time the right thing if you do that. And it's whatever you put in 90%, that's making the biggest difference too, I think putting a lot of good, happy stuff in your mind too is good, thinking about the positives. And that was one of the things I wanted to share here. I know we went into a couple of different zones, but basically, this is like an adventure when you try a new diet. I mean, if you are like having, like, oh, I'm getting bored with life, this is a great way to spice it up, quote unquote, right? Like, get in there and try this, give it a whirl. Like, what do you have to lose? Next thing you know, you might be off all your medications, right? Like, and feeling better than ever, and on here telling other people, saying like I did, I can't believe I went from this, I thought vegans were weird, and now I'm that weird person. And sometimes I don't even like to say the word vegan, because people automatically like shut you down, like you're one of those weird vegans. But we're just people who have had a different level of consciousness come about, that we've learned something that made us, be motivated to not want to eat animal products. And we have decided that that's the way that we want to, that's the food we want to eat. And there's all different times and things and ways to do it. But I think going out and buying a bunch of food that you really love and you can enjoy, and just put it in the house, start eating that way. You'll start to find different combinations of things you like. And the next thing you know, your body is craving what you give it, just like your mind craves what you give it more of. It's the same thing. You're going to start wanting it. Like, the reason that you wanted chicken nuggets as a kid was because your parents gave them to you as a reward. I'll go to McDonald's, I'll give you a Happy Meal if you're good, right? So you thought, oh, that's the reward zone. I get that Happy Meal when I'm good. It's the same thing now, as if you tell yourself, I've had a rough day, I'm going to go get a cheesesteak sub, and that's what your comfort food is. You'll change when you might say, you know what, I've had a rough day, so I need to make sure my body is really hydrated and I really get the right things in my body. And I really like that mixture of stuff I put together last week, whether you're whole food plant based and you want to go with the burger that you made, from whatever you have that, or at this vegan restaurant, or you decide that you want to put together this big pot of like soup, like rice and beans and all kinds of stuff that you like, or you decide that you like vegan, some type of other vegan comfort dish that you used to have. Or if you like enjoy, like me, these big salads, like I can't wait to eat a bunch of avocados and lettuce and all the stuff that put together, and the kind of seasoning you might like. Think about that. Think about having like this really clean feeling after you eat like 4 or 5 oranges for lunch. Instead of feeling all sluggish and tired and wanting to nap, you're going to feel all this energy. It's a different kind of motivation. But think about all the times you say, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start doing this, and you never do. Just do it at the next meal, like, just make it happen. Go to the store and buy a bunch of stuff that you want to try and that you really like, and a bunch of fruits and a bunch of vegetables you like. And let's see. Oh, hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got Angela here, Boomer and Beyond Wellness. Hello from Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're enjoying your new home there, and that you're on YouTube again. I'm enjoying all your videos. Everyone, please go check out Boomer and Beyond Wellness. on YouTube. She is awesome. And she also has a Facebook page that you can keep track of her, videos that she puts out. She is the best workout coach. She creates videos for workouts. She has Have It Your Way workouts. If you feel like you're not like, 20 years old anymore and ready for a super intense workout, and you want something that's going to be kind of designed to where you are in your health journey or whatever chronic illnesses you have, she is a certified, I don't even know all her titles. There's too many to mention, but she knows a lot. I mean, this woman can spit out parts of the body like there's nothing else. When she was on here, I was like, huh? It was awesome. So she definitely can take care of you if you're looking for some talent to help you get in shape. And especially women, she reversed her own osteoporosis too, so she knows how to help you with strength training and things. So go check that out. And she also did like a bunch of interviews on this channel. If you go back and look at it too, you can hear more about her story. And Boomer said, Tessa, hello, I'm Angela. Nice to meet you. She knows also a lot about food and raw food too, doesn't she? And then I already mentioned, don't forget our friend Marakita, who is telling us self-care, don't get run down. Yeah, because there's other parts of being healthy too, right? Like there's getting enough sunlight, because there's actually a vitamin in the sun that we can't get from food, vitamin D. We can take a D3 supplement, but like Don tells us, there's thousands of other nutrients from the sun that we totally need that we are not getting if we're, just doing the like D3 supplement. That's good if you are not able to get out in the sun, or you want to do that even sometimes if you're not in the hotter parts of the country where the sun is in the right zone for you. Like here, I get a couple of months of year where I'm probably getting all the good nutrients from the sun, but it's still important to get out in it for the fresh air. Exercise, but not overexert yourself, I think is important, because you don't want to put a tax on the body, which is why it's important what Angela does. Marakita is always out in nature and always tells us don't get run down. Take that time to get your rest. Go to bed at a time and get up when you know that you've gotten your proper rest if you can. You know, and we all have a lot of energy when we're vegan. So I think that's important, not to overwork ourselves. And like, I don't like to take off work a whole lot. And I've been trying, to put in some time to concentrate on my vegan channel, because I really want to grow this movement. And I want to, I have some time that I can use at work, and I want to start using that to really come on here and make it a point to bring people together more as much as I can, because I do feel like it's my purpose. It's my reason that I get up. What I get excited about is getting this information out there to everyone and bringing everybody together. And I love helping everyone. Remember, Marakita's coaching starting soon. And she says, we are weird. Yeah, vegans are weird. We're like, that's okay though. I love it. I love the weird club. Like I love that we all connect in a weird way, and it's cool. And we can all connect in our different little things that we share with the world, and the different ways that we might eat, and the little differences we have in what we've all where we've come from, like whatever we've done, we've all landed on this commonality. And I think when you have that we're all truly love every single kind of animal, and we know that core value in us is all the same, it makes it so easy to like connect with others and to help new people see that. Like that's one of the things that I wake up every day trying to figure out, how I can get someone who came from where I did, or even you know grew up in the standard American diet, and how they can do in a kind, compassionate way, help them see that there's another way, and the reason behind it, but not seem like I'm telling you what you should do, because I'm certainly not, because I'm not that kind of person that wants to make you feel bad, because I wouldn't have wanted to be made feel bad, but I'm trying to give you the reasons and the knowledge to make that decision on your own. Take it and do it what you will with it, do what you can to research it, and then all of a sudden everything's going to click and you'll be like, the crazy vegan was right. I really do believe you're going to say that. What did Angela said? Bring on the weirdos. I love it. And she said, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for everything you do for all of us. You're always sharing our content, and I truly appreciate it that you take so much time to do that. Bring on the weirdos. Come on, come be a weirdo with us. That should be the next live stream. Empowerment coaching, so true about junk food. Oh yes. Oh, she said Mariquita. I was like, I missed the Mariquita. I was like, she's just started calling her old empowerment coaching now. Tessa said, hi, Angela. And yes, Boomer and Beyond, the junk food thing, it is something else that it gets addictive, even as long as I've been off of the junk food, and now even for a while the vegan junk food, it still can get in there if you have one bite of it. It is truly like an addiction. Wow, I can't believe it's getting close to already almost. I guess we'll end here in the next little bit, because I've kept you guys so long. I've been on here. What time did I come on though? I was late. Okay, I was late, but not that late, right? I was supposed to be on at 3. I think I started putting this at 3:20, and then I changed it to, what was it, 3:45, I think, or 3:46. I kept moving it. Or was it? No, I came on at 3:30. Oh, yep, I made it 2 hours again. That goes by so quickly, and I didn't even have anyone up here talking to me. I was just rambling, but you guys were talking to me in the comments, so I appreciate it. At least I wasn't on here rambling by myself, right? I am like, so what's been going on with everyone? Is there anything like, that we want to talk about before I go chow down on these clementines? And then after that, I'm going to wait about 20 minutes and I'm going to get some work done. This is really cool, right? So my boss lets me send out this motivational email that I send out every Monday, called Motivational Monday. And this workplace has nothing to do with being vegan, right? And so when I get on there, right, I do segments on it now. So I do like a motivational quote, and then I do some tips and things for like the workplace that I work in. And then I've added like a fun and games section where I do, how I love those unscrambles on the page, even though half the time I spell the stuff wrong and everybody's confused. So I do I love it. Thank you. And Angela can sing too. You have to come on and sing that song for us one time. Sing, oh my darling Clementine. I'm not gonna sing. I can juggle, right? Oh yeah, I juggled the other week. Do I have anything to juggle? I don't think I have anything. Maybe I'll go off camera and get my clementines. That way they're ready to eat. And I'll juggle as we leave the stream. But what was I going to say? I started thinking about juggling and clementines. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, the email at work. So I then I've been allowed now to be able to add in, or maybe I just added it in. I do the unscramble fun and games. I do a joke because I love jokes. And then I do a health tips. And I've now added in a plant-based recipe. So like these people, non-vegans, are getting my information. Last week I did a whole segment on what did I do? I think I've shared a couple of recipes that I've gotten off the page, and I talk about what I eat and my journey, and I'm able to share my YouTube there, and I can share like what relevant information and like health tips, just how like adding more fruits and vegetables can, I don't take like I guess I'm not like telling them they should be vegan, but I'm telling them in a roundabout way why they should be vegan and what health benefits it provides. I talk about the health nutrients of different fruits and vegetables all the time, and I share a plant based recipe. So if you have anything that you think people would like that are non vegan, please email it or put it on the Facebook page, and I'll add it to tomorrow's email. But I'm doing it tonight so that it's ready to go out in the morning. And I don't, that's not even part of what my job is. Like, I just take phone calls, but I really like, keeping people motivated. We've been really busy and I wanted to share that with them. And I'm like, while I'm doing that, I'm going to sneak in a little thing about veganism because, that's what I have to do. That's what I feel like. If I have that audience of, 25 people, I want them to know that they can be healthier, and I want them to know that there's another way to eat that doesn't taste, it's not so crazy. But sometimes they're okay with it. I don't get a whole lot of replies back, but I have a feeling at some point it could help someone, and that's why I keep doing it, because I want them to know I care about them as people. I want to motivate them to get through their week, because what we do is not easy, and I also want them to know these things that I know about health, because what good is having knowledge without sharing it, right? Vegan knowledge. Remember, if you were trying to go, okay, let me see. Remember, if you were trying to go vegan, be gentle with yourself. Change is not linear. That is so true. Yes. Now, that is a good bit of advice. What other advice do we have for new vegans? I think that don't try to learn everything all at once, but start to learn. Definitely get educated, go in and join vegan groups, especially people like I tend to really enjoy the ones that have um administrators, and a lot of people enjoy the ones that have recipes and things. But especially I feel like it's important to have someone there who's mediating the page, like Marakita's channel, Boomer and Beyond, who has, like, for me, I love keeping everybody motivated and sharing what everybody says on the page, but we can kind of mitigate it so it's not, if it's something off the wall that doesn't belong on there, it's not completely factual information. We can also not put it out there. But I love having a group, like a community, you know what I mean, where we can all share with each other, because I feel like I know people in the group. I know probably of the 400 people in my group, there's only a select maybe 20 that really interact a lot, but I feel like I really have gotten to know those 20 people, and I know about their journey, and I know about what they eat, and I know their motivation, and I try to help keep them motivated to keep going. I know about the newer vegans. I know of our experienced vegans, which I appreciate. Boomer and Beyond for always chiming in on the comments and helping with things that people want to know. And Marakita always being there to encourage people. I know Michelle and Muriel aren't here. We miss you guys, but they are so kind. Muriel's always sharing her fruit challenges and her healthy journey, and Michelle shares her mindful posts and the funny posts, and like Marakita brings our little the animals into it for us, and Tessa leaves comments, and it's really nice to know that you're putting out all this information and people are listening, and to have you all here with me today really means a lot, because I feel like it helps me to know that people are here helping support me, helping support new vegans. And that's kind of where I think that's what we're here for. We're here to promote change in a positive way that's going to make people excited to do this. We don't want to make it seem like it's this thing that you're like, you have to become like this crazy. Well, I don't know about, we just said we were weird, but you know what I mean. You're weird in a sense that you're not like everyone else, but sometimes the right thing to do is not what everyone else is doing. Sometimes being different and being in that 20% or that 2% is what is going to set you apart and give you a better quality of life. And unfortunately, a lot of people want to continue to follow the things that we've always thought were true. But when new knowledge comes up, when I learn something, I'm gone. That's okay. You guys, I don't mind my, friends in my real life, and most of them in my family don't eat vegan. Only the people that I've been able to really, get to know, with the exception, thank goodness, of Dawn. That makes it a lot easier to live here in a vegan household. But like other people that I know, I love them for who they are. I don't love them because of what they eat or don't eat. I love them and I want them to be healthy. And I think that's what really makes me motivated. A lot of this I do because I want my family to hear it, and I want them to know, I know you can do this if you're listening. Um, let's see. Oh, that was her saying, yeah, that was nice about it not linear, and be gentle with yourself. Like if you start and you feel like you're doing well and you have a little moment where you have a moment of weakness, it's okay, because that's like your next meal, you can do it, and it is really, when you become more motivated, when you feel frustrated with yourself, or you feel like when you ate something that you didn't want to, or that wasn't vegan, and you realize, I'm not feeling as good about that. I feel better doing this and more aligned. You realize at that moment, oh, I'm bought in, and you'll start to do that, a lot, and it'll become common ground to eat the way you do, and it'll become a lifestyle. And really, I think educating yourself is the biggest way to help your own self get motivated, because we can't motivate people. We can inspire them, but we can't like make them click like what we had click at some point. You know what I mean? And Angela, I'm getting ready to lose my voice, so we'll end it here in about 10 minutes, less than 10 maybe. Um, and this is such a good conversation. I never want to stop talking to you guys. This is typical of all groups. There are about 20 who are real active, even with the very large platforms. It's about the same amount. Yeah, like a certain percentage, right? That is so true. Um, but that's okay, because some people are listening and not commenting. I really think they hear things. Like I had people that were on there for a long time that I didn't even know were on the group, that would reach out or post something or comment. And so it's like, okay, they're there and they might not be ready yet, but when they are, they know I'm here to help, right? Um let's see. Exactly. It's not a grind, it's a lifestyle. And this lifestyle is a pleasure. It really is. It's like, look at everybody who's doing it, and look how happy and that they are about that they've done it. So that's got to tell you something. I love when I see people on these interviews and they're just like lit up and they want to tell everyone. And it's like so cool, because it also inspires you to want to tell people, because you want people to feel that. This is such great advice. I'm going to actually go back and I'm glad I'm putting these on the screen. One of the reasons I like to do that now, one is I learned how by mistake. And look, do you notice how your names are in green now? I did that today because I was playing around with something. Um, I don't think they were like that before. No, I think I did something, because I made mine rounded and it said green, but I didn't see that mine was green. Or maybe I left it square. I don't know. I was going back and forth playing with all the little stuff in Restream, trying to figure out how to put another background. And then I was like, nope, I'm going to leave the little fruits and veggies for today. We'll work on that later, because I'm already late enough. And notice how dark it's gotten in here. Now just the shadow is across me. I am the lady in the dark, the vegan in the dark. But yeah, it's a lifestyle, and it just becomes a lifestyle. It's like the way that it is in the very beginning, maybe where you're confused about this, or you're having to read every label, or, it basically is not like that. You'll find a groove and it'll become a lifestyle. You'll automatically know what you get from the store. You'll eat the same things. Well, you'll try a couple of new things here and there, but really, we can all tell you that it just becomes just so easy, just like everything else. Like when you start a new job, it's hard. You feel like you don't belong there for a minute. You feel confused. You feel like you have to ask everybody everything. But let us help you, ask questions, join these groups, and that's the only way you're going to find out. It's the only way I found out that a vegan didn't mean not eating cheese. I saw that someone very passionate made a post, I think, on one of the groups about how being vegan is a lifestyle. And I was like, wow, okay, that's what vegan is. It also helps you to keep that in your momentum because of your why too. I think people that go vegan usually for animals stay vegan longer, or eventually those of us like me who went into it for a diet, once that clicks, it helps you to never want, it's not like a diet anymore, so you can say, oh, I think I'll eat meat today, or it's the weekend, I'll eat meat. No, we don't do that. I mean, I don't. Some people want to minimize it, which is fine, because I mean, that's their thing. Like, maybe they've minimized their meat intake and they'll eventually move to not vegan, which is cool. I mean, any progress is progress when it comes to your health, reducing bad things. But I find just eliminating like any other addiction is the best thing to do. When I stopped drinking alcohol, it even made me feel even better. Although I had to explore some things in my mind, I had to go through, okay, yeah, maybe I was using that as an addiction to say, you know what, I didn't want to think about that, so I decided to have a drink. So you have to re explore yourself when you get rid of addictions, but then you ultimately feel better than ever, right? Like, you might be like, oh man, I usually eat meat, on with this, but you know what? I'm going to come up with a different way and a different meal, and then you feel really good afterwards, and you're like, wow, I'm feeling good, and I want to tell other people about it, and like, make it a fun thing, right? Like, make it happy. Don't make it like a negative thing, like, I've got to eat this, I've got to eat that. Be like, I get to enjoy all of this, and I'm blessed to have all these. Like, today I just like thanked God and thanked Dawn for ordering it, and like all these this beautiful food came. Like, I don't think we got new clementines, but we got avocados, and we had what else did we get? I got more peas and corn, and I got what did we get? Oh my goodness, now I'm forgetting. I don't even remember what I ordered now, but it was like all this beautiful fruit and vegetables, and I was like so excited. And Dawn got what she wanted for her vegan meal, and like, it was just like, I felt so blessed. And like, when you connect with like animals and the earth, and like, the food that you're eating is all natural, I feel like you just become more naturally grateful for everything, and you start to become like, this sense of gratitude becomes part of you, because of that. I don't know if you guys feel that way. Now I sound like a crazy vegan. Thank you for that, Boomer and Beyond. That was really cool. Right. I've gotten clients who were watching quietly. Yeah. Like, there was someone who I knew, didn't even know, Jen, who was in the group. I didn't even know she was. I don't know who that was, but we need to block that person. I don't know who that is. Sorry about that. If you are here, if that, I couldn't tell who that was, so um, please let us know if that is you that came into this live stream. Um, so anyway, yes, they are definitely watching quietly, and learning from us, and exploring the vegan diet, and wanting to know more. And when they ask, it's important that we answer it, and that we remember we didn't know everything when we first began. It definitely is very important to, um I think, to share what we feel, and like, share our beautiful health changes, so that other people can experience that, and say, you know what, when they're ready, and when they decide on their own to do it, then they know the right place to come to. And, Marakita, also, you help people once they are vegan to be able to explore those feelings too, that they have. And I like what you're doing, bringing animals into it, because we can learn so much from animals. I talk about just their digestion, right? Marakita said, yes, I can relate. They are watching even when we don't know it. Yes, it is exactly true. Oh, that wasn't Marakita. That was Boomer and Beyond Wellness. See, I have to go like this. I'm like, my comments, I don't even know why I don't just move my screen a little bit, right? I'm like, once it's on the screen, I can make it big like this. Yeah, why didn't I do that? But then when I do that, I'm not able to click on the messages. But now I can see myself better in the comments. So I'm not having to go like this. But it's all good. Oh, I'm learning as I go, right? Oh, Angela, we're all learning with this technology thing. I just now figured out how to that was so weird. Like, I gotta talk to you guys after that. Like, I have no idea. I thought that was Dawn coming in. That was so strange. I'm still like in a having a moment like that. Um, yeah, that was weird. Anyway, this has been so much fun. Um, I'm the same, still new to the tech stuff. Yes, right. It's funny because just sometimes I feel like I'm getting really good with it, and then something little that that I thought I knew everything about, I find something little like making that thing green right there where your name says Boomer and Beyond Wellness, and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited it came up green, and I didn't even know I did it. So like we can learn things by mistake, right? Sometimes. But I think it's so cool that the way that we can all come together and like have fun. And Marakita even does like the little game nights. It could have been a troll. Yeah, I definitely think it was because they didn't talk and it was weird. I don't even know if you could like see what was going on, and I couldn't, but I didn't want to. Um, but I'm not going to let it end the fun that we were having, right? And they eventually left again. I don't know how to get them out of the live. I don't even think they commented or anything, so you can't. I didn't know if I'll definitely figure out who that was and block them though. We had something kind of similar last time that I was on. He came on and put, I don't know if it was the same guy. I don't think it was the same name, but he put a picture of meat up when I was talking about um, this, and I put it on the screen because I thought he put a picture of a wrap up because Dawn was talking about she bought those wraps for our vegan her vegan Super Bowl meal, right? Her veggie wrap, and I thought he put a picture of like a taco or a wrap, and I look closer with my eyes, right, and it's meat, and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me get it off the screen, let me get it out of here. Oh yes, I blocked him. Okay. Yeah, you know what? While we're here, I'm gonna do this. I think there's a way that I can no. I have to ask Dawn because I wanted to have somebody like that could block him from this channel. Can't you make people like moderators for you? Those of you who come on all the time. I think I've seen Dawn do that. So that let me see if I can do it. Oops. Let me see. Add as a moderator. Yeah, you can do it. I'm gonna do that next time we come on. I'm gonna add you guys that can block people for me because I'm like that was so strange. In case I don't see the comment come in. Well, that's okay. That means people are watching, or at least it means it's higher in the algorithm, right? If we're getting people that I don't even know here, I guess we could look at it the positive, right? This has been talking about a positive, you know. Oh, the three dots, right? Okay, that's I'm gonna have to remember that. But I didn't see the three dots on my end. I just saw the little bubble when it came up over here, so I put them on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I thought Dawn was just having trouble with her camera for a second, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's too funny. The excitement continues here on Veganology JJ, right? Thank you guys for your help and moral support through that. Did I miss this comment? Oh, this was you saying hi. Okay. I'm like, did I miss any comments while I was here during that fiasco? I don't know. Oh, I don't know if you were here yet, but What were we talking about? Oh, Angela, we were talking about that they were saying vegans are deficient, and Marakita said the regular diet is fiber deficient. I remember that. There was so many good things. That's what I was going to say. Why I started putting these on the screen before I went on the tangent is so that I can go back and remember. Like when I rewatch these, I can remember and like screenshot these good little morsels that you guys give me, like where you said it wasn't linear, and the really cool stuff that everybody said. And congratulations on eating all your bananas, Tessa. And congratulations on your 2 years of being vegan, or raw vegan. Actually, you've been vegan for a lot longer. um oh, and that's smart. I thought you said I want to come on. That was your message of I want some corn. Let's see, we've got someone else making a comment. I got to get back down to the bottom. I made it big again. Oh, let's see, we have here. Hey Jen, hope y'all are having a great weekend. Hello, how are you? Unhappily a housewife. Arlo, I know that's you. Do you like how I put the names in green now? Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. Yes, we're having a good weekend. I was finally off today, so I'm excited about that. And I got to come on here with all you good people and say hello and bother you guys on YouTube since I haven't been on all week. And how's your weekend going? How are you guys today? Are you feeling good, doing good? You've probably been working a lot, haven't you? Thank you for everything you do for us, and for Dawn, and keeping her up to date and happy over there in the trading zone. ADT, I've got her cup. I guess I can't call it my cup even though I stole it. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Um, she said it looks cool. I love the green. I got to put that on the screen. Someone likes my green screen. Right? Marakita said the trolls might learn something. That was funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we had some excitement over here, Arlo. I think you might not have been here yet. But I just wanted to come on here. Anybody have any questions or closing comments? I'm just on here rambling about being vegan and eating healthy, and how we can, heal ourselves mentally and spiritually. Anybody else want to say anything? All right, going once, going twice. No, I really had fun with this, and I'm gonna do these every week. So don't forget to join me tomorrow for Linda Middlesworth overcame thyroid cancer. Let's see, she had high blood pressure, heart disease. She lost weight, and there was something else. Oh, and she was the sexiest vegan over 50 named by PETA, the organization, in 2015. She is 80 years old. She's going to come on and talk about her journey. She owns a vegan dog food company. She's a vegan mentor. She's a educator. She does a lot of work in the vegan community. There's so much more in her bio, but and of course, I want to thank everybody. Angela, thank you. Boomer and Beyond Wellness. Please go like her channel if you're new here. She does workouts, and basically does a lot of educational stuff. Marakita, please look at her channel and join that, and go and subscribe to her YouTube too. Go to her group, Vegan Empowerment Coaching. She does a lot of great work there. And I want to thank you for coming on. I want to say, if my family's listening, I love you, Mom. Love you, Lily. Love you, Brooke. I know you guys are going to become vegan soon, right? Marakita, did I say that? Tessa, Dawn, thank you for coming. Arlo, who else was here? Thank you for the troll. I'm just kidding. And Tessa, I see your hi, JJ. That was the first message. All right, guys. I appreciate you stopping in and saying hello. And it has been such a pleasure talking with you all. Oh, Boomer and Beyond said she's my hero, but I have a doctor's appointment, which I never do. But this time I need to show up. We'll happily catch the replay. That's awesome. Yeah, please catch the replay. It's tomorrow at 12:30. I should have probably said that. Please take a moment and subscribe to this channel if you can, because it really helps us get the message out in the algorithm. Look at where we are. We're trying to get to 400. So I'm almost there. I'm at 3. I fluctuate between 330 and 329. So I don't know. Maybe the people join and then they're like, oh, I don't know. I didn't know this was about vegan. I'm getting out of here. I don't know. But I think YouTube does it sometimes. So if we can get to 400, that'd be great. Please like and share the videos. I can't wait to have Angela on again when she gets settled, and Mariquita is going to come on again soon, and Dawn is going to come on with me. And I know I'm going to get Tessa up here one day. And don't forget, you guys can always join in on this link that I put in the very top comment when I come on these open forums. Or you can just talk in the comments like we did today. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everyone talking about their amazing transformations, and that they, that you guys come on here and you really are part of my journey, and I love being part of yours. And don't forget that I am here if you need me. And thank you for joining, everyone. Have a wonderful, 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 excellent rest of your weekend and evening. I'm going to get my clementines. What are y'all going to do? All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you. I'm going to end the stream. I don't want to go. I'm going to do it. All right. Love you, Dawn.